I can hear it now. The
Uh-oh.
doubling. Hey, you are live. Here we are.
Nice. I'm trying to find us on my YouTube up here.
Yeah. If we have some echo issues tonight, it's
It's
because I'm on a brand new computer and I
it's
haven't
all Ellis.
yeah, it's all me.
And he's listening to me through his speakers.
Yeah.
There are
Cause I,
people in my there are people at my work that do this in Zoom meetings, and it's so annoying.
yes.
It's like, come on,
Can
don't
you
do
turn
that.
that off? Can you do something?
Yeah, exactly. Sorry, I'm trying
And
to
all
find.
I've got is this one button that says settings and the big overall arching category of audio, and I don't see the button. It's
Yep.
like I.
Anyway, so I was going to tell you about something I bought.
Uh huh.
Um, hang on just a second. I'm trying to get aligned here. Oops, that ain't gonna work. That might work. Oops. Uh, my now it's annoying me.
Yeah.
Hang on. I'm trying to. My angle is tilted too. My table's angled too far. Okay, I'm gonna zone you out and just talk.
Okay.
I bought some new LEDs, Stadler Mars Blue LEDs. Can you see
Uh
that?
huh. Mm-hmm. Yep.
But there's a guy that draws Disney comics for somebody in Europe, I guess Disney,
Mm-hmm.
and he was using them, and I really like the way they look. Um, this one needs to be sharpened, but I've been messing with them. I'm not going to draw comics with them because that'll throw everybody off, I think.
Mm-hmm.
But I wanted to share these. And did you ever buy some of these blue pencils?
Well, you know what? There's a certain brand that this caricature named Fluharty uses that I've he uses though some wood pencils that are called oh, I forget. It's got a certain formula, certain blue, but that looks a lot like them. Put that drawing up close to the camera. Oh yeah, that looks a lot like that
Yeah,
particular blue.
I like drawing with blue pencils and kind of I don't know, waxy or whatever, because you can kind
Hmm.
of get they don't smear as much, I don't think.
They don't erase very well, I think
They
is the
don't
deal
erase
with
very
them.
well.
Yeah.
Which I don't erase that much anyway, so there's no difference.
Hmm.
I split my thumb and it's killing me.
Oh man, I tell you what, I've always got injuries due to those a dumb cat.
Oh yeah, well that's self-inflicted practically.
Yeah, it is practically.
Anyway, I was telling you, I just been chaotic in my house, and I was like, what did I do all week? And then I realized I lettered a comic for Dan,
Yeah,
and
that's
so it's Dan's fault that I haven't got anything done this week.
yeah, it's a big time sink to do all that
Well,
techie.
yeah, and I think I was working on it last week, but
Hmm.
I started it, but it took me forever. I mean, not really, but it took me forever to get back up to speed.
Hmm.
I don't letter that much. I don't really. I don't. I'm okay lettering something if I write it, but I hate when I letter somebody else because invariably they didn't leave enough room, and
Yeah,
it's like,
yeah.
oh, I can't change this because I didn't write it. If I wrote it, it's no big deal. But anyway, I think I told you earlier we're going to Amarillo this weekend.
Uh-huh.
My
Is it to,
father-in-law. Yes.
yeah, you're gonna go visit him, huh?
Yeah, I go visit him. You know,
Well, I hope he's all right and everything. How
oh,
old is he?
he's like 84, I think.
Ooh, yeah, well, see, that's old to have anything start to go wrong. It all of a
Oh
sudden
my
ends up
gosh.
being
And
a cascade of
well,
things going wrong.
That's what's happened to him. And he was having stomach issues, And my mother-in-law was unhappy because they didn't operate on him. I thought, God, my God, I don't want to be operated on ever, but much
Yeah,
less
yeah,
at that age.
yeah, yeah.
But
Well,
she just wanted him to get quick relief was all it
yeah.
was. But still, was like, oof, not good. Anyway, so we're gonna go. We're leaving. I took off tomorrow. We're gonna go tomorrow and go down or go over there. It's about a 4.5 hour drive of through nothing. You know.
Mhm. Oh yeah, yeah. Panhandle type of driving, maybe. Yeah,
Yeah, that's what it is. There's nothing to see except
yeah.
occasional small towns.
Count the windmills. That's what I
Well,
always do.
that'll be what we'll see is a bunch of windmills.
Which is amazing to think about. You talk about all this silly, overdone super windmills for turning dynamos and everything like that. It's like they've had windmills forever, but usually they're made for just drawing up water, helping you with your well water.
Yeah, they're made for a very specific purpose,
Hmm.
and the idea that to me, I always find them being over engineered. It's like
Yeah.
you got a rotating mass,
Hmm.
and the bigger you make it, the more energy it takes to rotate, and so
Yeah.
it just seems like how can that be efficient?
Yeah.
But
No, they never got them efficient. They had this, this new Billy Bob Thornton series where he does this big lecture on, downstream of all this air, all this wind power. It's pretty good because he ticks off just all the math on it, and it's. I wonder about old Billy Bob. I thought he was as stone cold a liberal as anybody, but he may not be. He may have actually approved the scripts and everything. And says, "Yeah, I like this character. I'll do him."
well, it is interesting that just the amount of material that goes in those. I mean, those windmills are huge. I don't know if
Hmm.
you've ever been behind a truck that's carrying the fins around or whatever.
Yeah, you just don't understand the scale of it. Just
Yeah, until
looking
you
out
it's
at out in the field, it's
yeah,
like,
no, they're huge. I mean, it's
yeah,
like longer. It's like a longer than a semi. It
yeah,
requires
yeah,
a
special,
flag
spe-
car and all that stuff.
yeah,
So I
yeah,
mean,
following car, yeah,
yeah, this is not just like, oh, it's look how big this is. It's like, whoa, this thing's huge.
yeah, yeah. It makes you want to, investigate it in terms of like saying, "Hey, can I climb up inside one of those? Because that looks death defying. I dig it." It's it's like, well, no, you can't. Stay away from our
Well,
thing.
I've
No
been
doubt. You'd have to have a
I
special reason to be in one of those
yeah,
things.
you can get in them. That's how big they are. I mean, I've
Yeah.
seen.
Oh yeah.
I think
Oh
they
yeah.
go.
That
I think there's
stalk's got plenty of room in it for you.
yeah.
It's got to be strong and able to hold all that. And plus, think about the torque on it. Thing's got to be
No,
enormously
yeah,
strong.
yeah. Anyway, not a. I'm not a fan, but I mean, I like a lot of the alternate stuff. I don't think
And
it's there
especially if
yet.
it's killing whales. it's
Yeah.
like it's like
Yes.
forget it.
Think
Drop it.
about
We don't need it.
the
It was
whales.
always a bad idea. What was that one guy that was all over the idea of being into wind power? He's kind of a halfway scam artist. He was a
Al Gore.
big no, no, he's a big Texan that was seemed to always be into everything. I think he had some initials that went with his name.
No, like
Everybody used,
J.D. Hunt or something.
yeah, something like that. But it was a different guy. Sue me. I can't think of it.
Hey, Mario's not on the stream or not waiting in the stream, is he?
No, he's not. I've got
Okay.
my pretty well fixed on
Okay.
when he shows up.
How's dinosaur puns going?
Hey, it's going pretty good. We're closing in. Uh, Mario has given me some of my final notes on changes, and I thought he was really slowing me down with some of this edits, and but then I got about four of them done last night. And said, you know what? These edits are going quick. I'm going to have this done very soon.
Nice. Very
So
cool. I can't wait to
yeah,
see the final product.
what's that?
I can't wait to see the final product. I mean,
Oh yeah.
Mario's been wanting to put, he's talked about this project forever.
Well, he's about to see it happen. That's all
I
I can
mean,
say.
longer than Goddess of Pigland.
Well, and he should be proud of that. That's a good little story. I'm digging it. I think he was kind of disappointed though to learn that I kind of dropped reading it. But then when I told him, I said, "Well, I'm into the part where he loses a testicle." he
No.
he he at least knew I was reading it. So
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. I thought it was pretty good.
Oh yeah,
Yeah, it's good, and it's a shame that more people won't see it.
yeah, oh yeah. It's one of those things. It's like everything I've done. I come out with a big flame of enthusiasm for saying, "Here it is," and then it's like, "Yeah, I did it once.
Yeah,
That's my promotion." You
I
know,
think I don't. I mean, I don't want to put words in his mouth, but I don't think Mario cares that much
nah.
that it's not that widely read or whatever. I mean,
Mhm.
I'm sure he wishes it was, but I don't think he lays awake at night going, "Oh my gosh,"
Well,
like
it is worthwhile to analyze. It's like why does Terry Pratchett, who you could say is the school of what Mario wrote, why does Terry Pratchett break through? Well, and of course it is. I mean, I'm comparing Mario in terms of like the school it's in,
right,
but Pratchett is nonstop funny and things like
right.
We Free Men and stuff like that. I mean, there is talent levels. There's no
Sure, it's
question
not
about that.
Pratchett is not a slouch,
Yeah, yeah.
but there is kind of this weird. And I thought that about comics before. It's like, how does one person?
Well, I guess that is the answer. I don't buy anything that's not at masterpiece level for my own consumption, at least in comics. It's like I've got three Ed Brubaker and Sean Phillips things to pick up tomorrow on my way to the library on hold.
Oh
It's
yeah.
three, I think, things I haven't read, and I will happily read every one of them because I'm a fan of what they get up to. And I don't think, it's like the adults are in charge when it's Brubaker and Phillips. I don't know. It's just different comics that I dig them.
On the opposite end of the scale, I checked out today on the way home the volume one of Dragon Ball Z.
Uh huh.
It's about that thick, man, and I keep hearing somebody was talking about Dragon Ball Z, and I thought, it sounds kind of interesting. Maybe I should read some of that. The library had volume one of the omnibuses, so I checked. I waited. I had to reserve it
Got to
anyway.
put on the waiting list. I'm on the waiting
Yeah,
list for something right now. Oh yeah, Raymond Carver stories. You ever heard of Raymond Carver?
I don't
He
think so.
he's just really he's just apparently only wrote short stories. So he did that to himself by virtue of that. He's only as well known as people that follow short story writers.
Well, at one point that would have been pretty well known, but
Hmm. Oh, he's super well known with the literary types. Speaking of literary types, it's interesting. When you express an interest in something on YouTube, of course,
yeah.
it's going to feed you all. Hey, look, hey, somebody's coming. There he is.
Hello.
Hey, Mario, how you
Hey,
doing?
Mario's here.
You can take all the time in the world, Mario. We were just mentioning dinosaur puns, and I was telling Scott it's getting close in terms of like being done.
Yeah,
I
that
whipped
looks
through
good,
about
Scott.
five edits
Oh,
last night.
oh, thank you.
I'm sorry, Ellis. You started saying something.
I whipped through about five of those edits last night. They're going
Oh,
quick. I'll share them with you sometime soon.
I was telling Ellis, I think you've been working on that for quite a while, maybe longer. It may be longer than Goddess of Pigland.
yes, that's true. Because the initial idea was in college, I think that was the last time I was on. I showed the original couple of original drawings.
That's
Well,
right.
one of
You
a
It
silk
said
screen.
that.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's right. So screen.
I'm trying to get this thing. Oh, here it is.
I'm going to be the one messing up the audio tonight. Mario, I'm on a new computer that I'm having to listen to everybody through the speakers, even though my mic is what on the headphones is what's giving me the.
I just had to do that. Yeah. Set this up. I'm hearing an echo.
Yeah, that's me.
That's Ellis.
I got to do something different. I don't know what.
Oh, it's
Oh,
not
well.
that bad.
It's not that bad? Okay.
No.
No. You're ruining all of our content.
Yeah. Well, it does. I tell you what, nothing is.
I'm calling my lawyer.
Okay. Hey, this is good. You've got a echo chamber for your musical
Yeah.
contribution tonight.
That's right.
That always helps. Elvis was never without a little echo.
Does it sound better? Because I'm using this thing,
Let's
the
hear it.
mic.
Oh, you mean your
The sound. You said the voice. I think you said the voice sounded better.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
It sounds good, Mario.
Yeah. Does it? Better than the last time?
I don't remember last time. I don't remember
yeah,
this morning.
I think it sounds better than last time.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You think his sound was better last time?
No, it's better now than last time.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, I was not clear.
Without meaning to, I just copied Doug Naples' styling on how to draw a demon cat. Didn't even mean to, and I did it. Isn't it funny how you can walk around and hear something drop and it sends off some sort of harmonic sound, and you go, and it just automatically, it touches off a song in your head. It's like, oh, that sounded like that one little quick bit from
Stairway to Heaven.
Grand Funk Railroad. Yeah. Whatever.
I don't think I'm going to sing because my voice will be too loud. I have to figure out how to get a better rig to
Might get
fly.
nude accidentally run around with this mirror. I pulled off my sweater and exposed a little skin. Oh, that's why that
we had a girl do that at work one time.
showed a boob.
No, nothing like that. But she took off a hoodie and took off more than she intended.
Wait a minute. This is not even
Branded.
okay.
Branded. I like comic books, illustration, good clean fun with a little aberration. Branded. That's as far as we got with that song.
Yeah, they are.
That's okay.
You got any lyrics for me?
Oh no.
No, that was the lyrics. That's all we need. We just need that little ID moment that happens. Well, I'm sitting here drawing instead of talking while we're online. I guess I'm
listening to Mario.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay,
I thought of that as background music. I was saying, well,
that is background music. It is.
Yeah, exactly.
Talk, yes. But I did do a drawing.
Oh,
I was watching the documentary about Leonardo da Vinci, not Leonardo, my friend in Oklahoma there. I do have a friend called.
Oh, look at that. Yeah, sweet. Nice. Yeah, nice. I
Oh, wow.
So what was the what did you use? We were just talking about
That's pencil, just
materials. What,
number
huh?
two pencil.
Number two pencil. Nothing nothing
I have all kinds of
fancy.
pencils, but I we keep just regular pencils on the table, and
Sure.
I decided we were going to do self portraits.
That's a that's a great thing. I've been thinking about priming up a little something and doing just a bunch of heads, just as quick as I can. I had a friend that I
Would
worked
be a
with at
good,
a game company,
yeah.
and he did that. He had it all divided up in about eight spaces and did eight heads on one canvas. It was a groovy little project by the time he had it complete. And it was just a way to dabble, just get the oil out there and start pushing it around, blending it
Try
up.
something new and
Yeah.
stretch your horizons or
Hmm.
something like that.
Have you seen that thing where David Lynch plays John Ford? I haven't seen the movie yet. It's called The Fablemans, and it's Spielberg talking
I've,
about how he got his start, even thinking he might ever be interested in film when he was just a punk kid.
I've not seen that yet.
I
I
haven't
was
seen
aware
it.
of that.
I do want to see it.
Hmm.
And Lynch played John Ford. Apparently, Spielberg got to, precociously come to his office and asking him about film and the secret of filmmaking. And, Lynch plays this Ford character as just having about like 2 minutes worth of time for him. And he just asked him to look at all the pictures, the two pictures, had three pictures in his office. And I guess it was just an old routine he put people through. And one of them had a low placement for the horizon line, one of them had a high placement, and one of them had it right in the middle. and that was just the lectures. When it's high, it's interesting. When it's low, it's interesting.
I'm very poor at multitasking.
Uh huh.
So I knew you were talking, but I missed the whole story.
That's all right. I got to see that Fablemans though. Is the
I knew you were talking about the Fableman. So
uh huh.
what was the gist of what you said? I'd like to hear it.
Oh, okay. The gist of it was that this Lynch, who died recently, that's the reason I
Yes, I
saw it.
know more of that he died recently.
Yeah, because of that, they had this thing where he's playing John Ford,
Right.
and he's got three pictures in his office. One of them with he goes,
Oh, okay.
he's got this is when the camera's low, it's interesting. When it's high, it's interesting. When it's in the middle, it's shit. And then he that's it. That's all the time he's got for Spielberg. And he goes, but Spielberg very courteously, as he's almost being rousted out of the office, he turns around and thinks to say it. Says, thank you, Mr. Ford. And so I guess that's probably an accurate memory. I mean, he got to talk to John Ford. He probably got to talk to everybody. I tell you what, that's a superpower, being precocious. It's like, well, Alfred Hitchcock will want to talk to me.
Yeah.
It's like,
I
no, he
saw,
hasn't.
who do I see? Anthony Perkins. I was walking on Sunset Boulevard.
Oh, really?
And so, yeah.
Really?
And,
That's
and
cool.
Don Adams from Get Smart was in front. I saw him in front of the Hollywood Hotel.
You were a denizen of SoCal at one time, weren't you? Yep.
One of the women from Laughing, Joanne Worley.
Joanne Worley.
I saw, not Barbara Feldon, but I did see Barbara Feldon in New York City at they were doing this thing about who wrote who wrote who wrote the Odyssey, not the Odyssey. Damn it. Yeah, the Odyssey. not the
Homer?
original, obviously, not Homer, but I'm thinking of the English author. I'm screwing this all up.
Oh, Odyssey, the
Most
English
famous
author.
Irish author. Irish.
Oh, James Joyce.
James
James
Joyce.
Joyce?
Thank
Is
you.
that right?
Yes, James Joyce. And what's
Okay.
the
Hmm.
name of the book?
Um,
Not the Odyssey.
there's Finnegan's Wake.
No, it's I know which one you're talking about. That everybody says this is the most difficult book in the world. It's too long and it's impossible, and everybody
I've, I've,
loves it.
I've tried to read it.
Yeah.
I got the first part is very good.
Well, now
Anyway, I
I got
saw
to look it
Barbara
up. I'll
Feldon
tell you in
there.
about 2 seconds. James Joyce. Oh, of
I have
course,
a
I got.
copy of it here. So how could I forget that? Well, I only have so much room here, and I'm running out of room to store stuff.
Oh, story of my life.
Yeah. Good God, y'all. James Joyce. Gosh, I'm really starting to get annoyed now.
Did you find it? You
Not
should
yet.
find it.
I apparently this new computer. There's lots of new places to do stuff.
Is it an apple? It's an apple, isn't it?
Yes. Ulysses. God, how hard was
Ulysses.
that to make that leap? Ulysses, of course. The Odyssey, undertaken by Ulysses. Yeah. That goes to those old man kind of lapses that I'm having all the time, though. I
Oh
tell you,
gosh.
it's like, wait a
Yeah.
moment, I know that word. Heck, I probably used it 5 minutes ago. Why won't it occur to me now?
It's a spoon. Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
it's a
Yeah.
spoon. I'm
I got
dying
that.
here.
Yeah, that's like my nightmare. Well, maybe not my
Yeah,
That's
nightmare, but
scary.
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, you don't want to lose your memory.
Yeah.
No, no,
That's what we're made of mostly. The mind,
you
right?
think
Yeah.
about it. Yep, yep. So I wish that, oh, good God, the cat just now hit the door like it needed in. I better check on it, make sure it's not gone completely crazy. I'll be right back.
Okay. How are you doing, Mario?
Okay. Day to day,
Sure.
moment by moment.
It's the only way to live.
Is this your cricket comic?
Yes, this is the black cricket. Well, this isn't the black cricket, but it's the bad guy. And this is chapter 6. Our publisher is so recently Diamond Comics, which is the distributor distributes most of the comics, has child filed for chapter 11 bankruptcy.
Right.
And so I don't know if there's going to be a comic book industry in 6 months.
Not the little bookstores anymore, huh? I mean, they need that.
Well, yeah, there are alternate distributors, but they won't take on a lot of smaller press.
Mm-hmm.
And so small press books are going the way. In fact, I was reading an article today. I think the publisher that published Heaven's Rejects is out of business.
Hmm. Well, that was affiliated with Scholastic. That had to be a decision of Scholastic to put the axe to them, wouldn't it?
Well, they had a deal with Scholastic. They were not really affiliated with them.
Ah,
In other words, Scholastic would distribute their books, because that was the thing, is they would not collect Heaven's Rejects.
mm-hmm.
And supposedly the editor said, well, we sent it to them, they didn't want it. And it's like, oh, okay, well,
So you mean I worked a year on you guys having a pitch, huh? Oh, okay. Tell me next
yeah,
time.
I
I'll
didn't
tell you if I
think that
want to do
was
it.
Yeah, I was pretty disappointed about how
The
it came
video
out.
enterprise that you were getting involved in.
No,
What?
Heaven's Rejects
Oh,
is the comic book I did, the 4 issue comic book I did.
Four
Uh,
issues. Think how much
yeah,
work that is.
no, it was a lot of. I penciled and inked it. That's what the frustrating thing. If I just penciled it, it wouldn't be so bad. But inking takes it out of me.
Mhm.
so you they didn't pay you,
No, we
Not
did it.
enough.
and you had no rights to it.
We well, we had a contract with them, and they did put it out as they agreed.
Oh,
But they were going to collect it because that was the thing is comic comes out and it's gone a month later.
Yeah, you're supposed to anthologize those things. Put out the trade.
Well, that was the deal is they were going to put out a trade, and so I figured
you
it
have
had
no
long
rights. Do
legs.
you can't just do it yourself now.
Well, I don't know where that's at legally, but I
Well,
would want to get the. I had a writer. I worked with a writer, so I
you
would at
might want to
least.
consider that carefully before you get involved in anything.
Yeah,
A little
it
like,
was.
That's we're gonna that you're putting your work into.
Yeah,
hey, you know
uh,
what, Scott? I just had a flash of energy come across the idea. I told you before, if you would, uh, if, you know, it's, I thought about the idea of just rescripting your artwork all over again, making
I've
it
thought about
totally.
that. I've actually
Imagine if
thought about that.
Mario decided on his first blood or first exposure to your work and ask him to be the writer for it and
I
say and he knows nothing about it. And imagine if he wrote that.
if he got it without letters.
Yeah, yeah. If he got it without letters, your art, and says, Mario, what does this occur? And it would come out completely independent of everything that had passed before.
I've
Well,
actually thought about.
they don't have you on the contract either.
Who, me?
No, Scott. So
Oh,
he
yeah.
can do whatever he wants with his work. That's what you're
I
implying
would
there.
think. I would think.
Yeah, I mean they put it out and they're not. I mean, as far as I know, they're not a company anymore. They're
You
not
didn't.
selling it.
Did you sign anything?
I did sign a contract, but it's been fulfilled because we put out the book.
Yeah.
Well, maybe they won't even bother if you do it.
Oh no, they wouldn't bother.
No, the only thing I would feel,
Comfortable doing
well, is with the writer. That would be so. If I was going to do it, I'd want to rewrite it. But
Oh,
even then,
absolutely.
it's from his idea. But I didn't like the writing in spots. He put a lot of profanity in there that I thought was unnecessary.
it. Right. It doesn't. It's bad when it's unnecessary. I mean, it's very. There are occasions, but
Sure,
not
sure.
many. Not that much.
Yeah, and he kind
Hopefully,
of did it for shock value. And I told him, I said, "Are you sure about this?"
only the Wolverine can get away with that.
Yeah.
Well, I told him, I said, "You're going to hamper our, it's going to impede our audience." He said, "No, no, no, it'll be edgy."
Hmm.
And I was never comfortable with that. Even when people were buying it, like friends of mine and stuff, I was like,
That
you
was
know,
your first feedback, wasn't it? It's like, I don't know about all this cussing.
well, it just made me a little uncomfortable. It was a little more than I was
Yeah,
happy
and you don't
with.
need it.
So,
And that's shock value. Get over it.
Hmm.
right. So I've thought about rewriting it, renaming the
Put thought
character.
into things instead, right,
Yes,
Lois? Put thought into it.
Hmm.
I like what you're
Yeah,
drawing,
thought and
Ellis.
emotion, thought and
That
emotional
reminds you of the
impact.
creepy comics,
Yes.
eerie. Those are great.
Well, yeah, but think about that was one of the best writers going that to help them premiere their stuff. And
Who
that
was
was
that?
old Archie Goodwin.
Archie Goodwin.
Archie Goodwin was a guy that he's right up there. I mean, he could have been writing for Hollywood, whatever, but he was doing comics.
Wasn't he from Oklahoma?
Yes, I met him at one of those cons that was held in one of the hotels in downtown Tulsa. I forget which hotel that is, but they used to always have the cons there.
Oh yeah, I remember the cons. I never went to one.
It was cool. I was up in the hospitality suite and talking to Archie Goodwin. Never forget that. And we were talking about our love of Sergio Leone movies.
Oh
Yep,
yeah,
yep, about that era.
cool.
Yeah, it was cool. That would have been the era that all of us were much closer to being kids. The old, let's see, what year would I have been? I was probably 24, maybe. So subtract backwards from, well, or add.
What year were you born, Ellis?
53. Are you going to tell me the answer? It would have been 77, 78, something like that.
Oh wow.
Yeah, back then.
I was born in 1950, which makes it very easy to keep track.
Oh, yeah. You can always move forward in time with a quick little bit of addition. I was really bugged. I make, just to make my brain work a little bit every day, I do a log entry where I just fill up a page. Don't do any paragraph making or anything. It's just sentence after sentence where I just put a star between thought breaks. But I try to make it good writing. I do cross throughs and I say this could be worded better. I'm trying to make my brain work as a writer. And I decided to write about an experience I had where I was robbed at a U totem,
Oh gosh.
and where they tied me up and put me in the
What?
back.
Wow.
Hog tied me with an extension cord. So I was writing all that, and it came out pretty good. But then it really bugged me. I couldn't say exactly what time it was. I couldn't figure out the year. I was trying to think forward and backward and trying to place it, and I just couldn't do it. And I still can't. I've got to figure that out. You would think something that traumatic, you'd have it, nailed for when you did it.
Oh, yeah.
Well, what kind of car were you driving? That's
There's a good point. Yeah, was I in that Subaru Brat, ready to just practically go all over the country with it? I don't know. Can't think. What was I driving up to in work? It's one of those things. I was working the midnight. What do they call it? The graveyard shift. Very
Where'd you
appropriate.
work at?
It was a U totem that was the most robbed U totem in the company's
Oh, so you
inventory.
were an employee.
Yes. I
Oh,
was at the intersection of like I-35 there and some big road, and it wasn't far from where it intersected with 244 either. And because of that, all those intersections of these big major thoroughfares, it made it, I
easy to
guess,
rob.
yeah, easy to rob and take off and go five different directions.
Hmm.
And yeah,
Were they armed?
oh yeah, oh yeah. I
They
always
hogtied you just to rob you?
Well, that's the deal. I thought
Oh,
they
so
were
you
taking
wouldn't
me
call
back.
the
I thought they
police
were taking
to,
me back there to kill me, and
yeah.
I decided to hog tie me with extension cord instead. And when I say hog tie, my wrists were connected to my ankles by the extension cord. And
I've been mugged a couple of times.
huh?
I've been mugged a couple of times, and
Oh, you have been.
oh yeah, and I ran from a few others when I was in LA.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. You gotta.
By then I was always weary, and it was a bad time in LA to be. There was a recession.
Hmm. Yeah,
I was
I've
out there
I've
at a
had a
bad
few
time.
attacks myself. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, you
Got-
know why? Is it because you're like me, Mario, that you just like to get out and walk, go on what I call death
Well,
marches?
I was younger, and I spent a lot of time. I used to be outside. I was quite adventurous at one time.
Uh huh. Uh huh.
Hitchhiked out to California from Oklahoma more than once.
Oh, I didn't know you hitchhiked.
Yeah.
Wow.
Oh yeah.
That
Wow.
is adventurous. I tell you, that's there's the
That's when I stopped doing it because that was after Charles Manson. And then I
yes,
started running into some really creepy people.
yes. It seemed like
You
it
wondered if you're
bloomed
going to
that
make
way.
it back home.
Yeah, yeah. Seems like the character of the country changed just overnight.
It was and I have to, you have to say, part of that was the drugs. The drugs
Oh
came
yeah.
in the 70s.
Mm-hmm.
So that was part of it.
Yep.
There was some good stuff in that, but there's also some bad.
Yeah. Of course, you don't want to be picked up by somebody that's using LSD, even if it is one of the
No,
good ones.
not if they're driving.
Not for driving.
No. Yes, I would agree with that.
You would be
Even
flying.
anything really. I don't want to be anyone driving. If they're driving, they should be sober.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
Not that I didn't always follow that rule, but
Oh man, I have driven.
I've done a
It's
lot of
it's
stupid
it's, it's
things.
shameful, but I've driven extremely drunk before, and
Me too. I've done
it's not a good idea.
scary
I,
drunk where I was going, oh boy, this was a
yeah,
mistake.
yeah, I was bouncing off curbs every now and then. It's like,
No,
Oh
oh no,
gosh.
wasn't that bad.
yeah, I was
I had a friend who ruined
just
his life with
once.
that. Hit a truck. Yeah. Well, good.
Mm.
You learned your lesson and moved
Yeah, oh
on.
yeah, yeah. It was terrifying. After the fact, you're numbed during the act. I've just been lucky. I've had an angel on my shoulder for a lot of my life. I've done backflips off of high bridges into water. I had no idea what was underneath it.
Oh gosh.
Brown River water. Could have jumped into the middle of an old combine.
Yeah.
Looked like
I
a horror
almost
movie,
got
like a
killed at,
Argento movie or something.
yeah,
Sitting
go
down
ahead.
there all strung out.
Look like a vampire.
I think I avoided most of those issues.
Well, you were too cautious. You
I
need to
was
be
I was
crazy
too.
like me. No, I wasn't. I wasn't
Well,
that crazy.
I got married young. That seems to settle you down a little
It
bit.
does.
Yeah.
I mean, well, it didn't me, but it did you.
I I've I have to watch when I say this sort of stuff. People think I'm talking about entertaining what a big fan of self harm I am. But when you think of end of life for yourself, it seems like it should be like, I can do anything I want to.
Yeah,
I'm all of a sudden I'm Dr. Kevorkian. As far as
I have to agree with
any
you on that.
yeah, anybody monitoring me, would say, hey,
We need to
cut
check
that
on
guy
this
off.
guy.
Quit. We don't want to listen to that guy. He's
Yeah,
crazy.
if you don't have a quality of life and there's
Hmm.
no purpose, well,
Sure.
and you're in pain,
Yeah, yeah, that sort of thing. And I wanted to always have an emergency exit package that was just totally crafted. Like I wanted to have some of that Owsley acid, you
No.
know, so I could be just tripping out of my mind before I added the final little dose of whatever. Well, now I guess it's as easy as finding a little dose of fentanyl to kill yourself. That stuff is apparently extremely deadly.
what's that?
Yeah.
What is that? What's that? Fentanyl?
Fentanyl.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, that'd be one way to go if you wanted to go.
No, the
That
acid
would
was the important part.
that would do it.
What kind of acid did you say that was?
Owsley, you remember that guy? He
Oh,
was legendary with Timothy Leary and all those guys. It's like, oh,
I
we got
saw
to
the
have
place where they were hanging out experimenting.
really.
It's in New York State
Hmm.
between near Millbrook, New York.
Yeah,
They
the
also have a
where
zoo there for some reason, a small zoo,
Huh.
not in the same property,
Well, yeah, yeah.
right next to it.
and it's not like I say, it's not the way to live your life all times. You should be sober and using your intellectual abilities, etc. But you know, what's the funny though to think about is that you could go on that final acid trip and it'd be like, wait a minute, I get it now. I understand everything. And
I
then
don't
you,
think I need any more LSD.
oh, have you had?
I'm
I've
good.
only had one supposed trip,
Oh,
and
oh
it
no,
wasn't.
I overdid it. I
You
overdid it.
overdid it.
Yeah, did too much. And the one time I had one bad trip, and that was when I didn't want to do it, and I had two of my friends talk me into it.
Mm-hmm.
And then we dispersed somehow, and I was by myself. That wasn't so. I didn't want to do it. I didn't have the right frame of
Frame.
mind.
Mm-hmm.
So I went ahead. So don't. There's another thing not to do. Don't let people
Mm.
talk you into something you don't want to do.
Good rule.
Oh, that's a rule for.
But a lot of it was great.
Yeah.
But
I like how
overusing it,
your eyes popped wide
yeah.
open right when you said that. When you said
Uh,
great, your eyes were wide open.
yeah, especially the first few times, that's the problem.
Mm-hmm.
See,
That's where
uh,
addiction comes from.
you're
Yeah,
better off
there's supposedly
spacing it
drugs out
out
there. Yeah.
if you're going to do it.
Yeah.
It's
The
very addictive. It can be. It's so pleasurable. That's what the problem
yeah,
is.
yeah,
See,
yeah.
that
It can't
you
be
want to go
found
back
in
and get
life,
more. I
basically.
want some more of that.
Yeah, yeah. Yeah, there's
Colors
supposedly
and
drugs where
music.
you your first experience is like makes you addicted. Crack is a
Never did
supposedly
that.
and meth is supposedly
I've done that.
extremely
Oh,
addictive.
that
Yeah.
was pretty good. Wow. I could see how you get hooked on that.
Hooked on meth, whatchamacallit. Yep.
Very bad. Very good. So very bad. And
Mm-hmm.
unfortunately, again, it's you take a little and you go, wow, this is great, and then you start doing more, and it's not so great.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, I've seen some bad meth behaviors. Yeah. Makes you mean as a snake. It releases you from some of that empathy, I think, that you expect a human being to have.
Yeah, you're only on your own in your own plane, and nothing
Mm-hmm.
else matters.
Yeah.
That's the
Yeah.
problem. I went there. I know.
Mm-hmm. Yep. 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 It's funny. All these people tuning in to us, realizing, hey, those old guys, they're druggies.
And alcohol.
Alcohol. Yeah, that's another one. Oh, I know
When I
alcohol.
when I was working at Texaco, which I
Mm-hmm.
worked at for 12 years,
Mm-hmm.
I used to come home and start drinking triples of bourbon. I
Mm.
mean Scotch. I'm sorry, I switched over to Scotch. Fine drinking Scotch, and three triples. I was recording. I recorded some music doing it. It's not bad either.
Well, I tell you what, people, that's the reason they get addicted to it. It's like, I need this to loosen up.
Yeah,
And it works. That's the other
it
deal.
does.
It
Yep.
works.
But you got again moderation.
Hmm. Yeah,
If
moderation
you
and,
too much, you messes you up. It ruins lives. It does ruin lives.
hmm
Not
oh,
even and
hey,
not even counting the accidents, the car
hmm
accidents that it causes,
yeah.
or the fights, and you know
Oh, yeah.
you're more prone to.
And of course, but we still love guys that did go ahead and run their lives, like Bukowski and stuff like that. It's like they wouldn't be what they are without drink, you know?
Trauma without trauma and drink or something. Right.
Hmm.
Well, you go to drink if you have trauma, I
Hmm.
think.
Yeah, I think most of the guys that end up being really hooked deep by it.
They're gone. They can't understand normal life
Hmm.
because it was never normal for them.
Yeah, yeah, they're disdainful of the idea of wanting to be a normie. Yep. Hey, you guys, we had a little email chain that went on for a couple of entries about the new Fantastic Four movie. That's what I'll tag this with. I'll say,
I saw something about that.
yeah,
Oh
but see,
yeah.
They never got it completely right.
I think the Thing looks pretty cool in this one.
Does he
But
Uh,
look like the
he's
Kirby one? Or
he's Kirby enough
but he's
where they show him
small.
just his hands and his
yeah,
head.
well, he was just normal height.
Hmm.
Yeah, but he's in the still I saw. He's shorter than Sue.
Yeah, and they messed up the first one by using I'm forgetting Captain America to
Oh yeah.
play the. He
Oh,
was way too tall for those people. You know, it looked weird. It looked weird.
hmm.
And then he was so great as Captain America,
Yep.
right? He
He was
nailed that.
phenomenal. Chris Evans. Yeah.
Yeah,
Chris Evans, that's one of the funniest jokes in that Wolverine Deadpool movie. It's like
yes,
he knows he's talking to Captain America, and then he all of a sudden goes, "Flame on!"
that was good. Had some good jokes in that.
Yeah, very yeah, all these knowing jokes.
The first two Deadpool movies are like some of the best comedies ever made.
That guy has got a talent. He's got
He does.
yeah, that charisma.
Reynolds.
Yeah.
Ryan
And
Reynolds.
I still like it. I like parts of his Green Lantern movie.
Oh,
yeah,
That part where he goes where he
it wasn't as bad as they make it out to be.
uh-uh.
It just wasn't great.
No, it wasn't great. Green Lantern is a character, as a superpower, having manifestations of protoplasm that can turn into hammers and chainsaws and all that. It's like there's a removal that occurs when
Yep.
that happens. It looks good in comics,
right.
but it's not all that
Well,
fun
do
for
you
movies.
remember there was a comic where Superman moves to the sun?
Oh yeah.
So that was a
I
bit. That's what sort of gave up on him.
yeah.
Okay, you lost me now.
Well, there's a when in DC Comics, the Superman comics, and it could have been one of the ones that he appears in, or I'm not sure. But he moves the sun. He flies up to the sun, and well, first of all, it'd be impossible because it's gas, so he'd go right through it. But he
Yeah.
moves the sun.
I'll be back in a second. I can still hear
Okay.
y'all. I got my headphones on.
Okay.
I'm gonna go grab something to show y'all.
Okay. Yeah, the dino puns. I'm looking forward to showing you the edits. I was expecting to be very challenged by that. That were the xylophonesaurus where you wanted curvature put back into his back, but actually that went pretty quick. And I like it. I like it. What I did with it. When did you start playing guitar? How quickly do you acquire that talent? That's what
50 years.
you've been doing it 50 years. How quick do you remember?
On and off, there were several times, several instances where I didn't play.
Mhm.
But the last, at least the last 12, I would play every day. I practice every day, do something every day. I mostly just improvise.
Mhm.
I write songs and improvise. That's what I do. And I'd like to record again. I recorded some songs, but
There's Superman.
myself.
I picked this up today.
What'd you get?
It's a reprint of the old Treasury from I guess, the 70s. Superman versus the Flash.
Versus?
Well, they're racing.
Okay. Oh, yeah. That was how they used to sell their comic books.
Yeah.
Some sort of novelty concept of like, who's faster, Superman or the Flash? Yep.
Anyway, I kind of dug it.
Who's the artist, main artist on it?
Let's see. You know what? It's not credited.
What?
Oh, wait. Let's see. No, it doesn't. It's not. The art is not credited. I think it's Kurt Swan, maybe.
Ah, there you go. Sounds likely. But it's not, yeah, it looks
Did
like
you get it
newer
because?
air.
Oh, I
I'm
thought
sorry. Do
maybe
what?
it was. I thought maybe it was the comic where Superman moves the sun. Is that what you were doing?
No, no, no. I just bought
That
this
make
today, and I thought you guys talking about it made me remember I had it downstairs, so I went down and grabbed it.
made you
I
think
I
about
haven't
it.
even looked at it.
I have this giant book. It's really a softcover book. It's so thick, not a comic. Oh, it lists everything that happened to Superman in paragraphs, with the title, all his villains, and every instance of up until when did I got that in Oklahoma, as a matter of fact,
Oh, really?
at the drugstore. Remember the drugstore in the plaza there?
Uh-huh.
I got it there, which is
That's where
strange.
that's where I got most of my comic books when I was a
Oh,
kid.
okay, yeah. So they had comics there. That's right. So I got that there.
Was it a real drugstore where you got banana splits and everything?
Yeah,
Yeah,
had
it
a
had a soda
soda
fountain.
fountain. Yeah. Oh, Oklahoma. I moved there in '67. I was born there and then went back when I was 9 until my youngest brother got sick and we had to go back to New York. And then I moved down there in '67, I believe.
That's the year I
Huh.
was born, Mario.
Is that right?
Yes, that's right.
Wow, that is something.
Yeah, it makes you it makes you
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to point that out.
No,
you time machine Mario. Yeah.
Well,
I did
hey,
because I
you
was
know.
trying to remember the ones I've seen grow up. So I saw Scott grow up, but I thought he was so
Definitely.
later. I guess I didn't see much of you when you were a baby,
Probably not.
and I was running around like a lunatic. So,
But you
um,
were over at my grandma's a lot when I was like in maybe junior
oh
high or a
yeah,
little bit younger.
oh,
I
yeah, I
mean,
lived there shortly for a
I
little while.
remember you were always there. I didn't remember
But
you lived there,
I
but
worked for her also.
yeah, I remember you were helping her with the draperies.
I made the cornices, the wood. I did the woodwork on the cornices,
Hmm.
Oh, nice.
and then staple the fabric to it.
Yeah, oh yeah. It's
She,
amazing. That's almost like a lost art, you know. I don't know that people
yeah,
get,
I don't think so. It's a thing that was done then.
you
Yeah, I
know.
tell you, being able to, you'd think anything you could do by hand would always
I'm
remain
looking at
valuable, though, and
Ellis's work.
it probably is always still going to be
This is the way I
valuable.
look at Ellis's work, except that he just moved it off the
That's,
screen.
I guess it's some sort of a super clan ghost. I don't know. That won't go into focus. This new computer's got a lot of pluses, but for instance, I think the image is better coming through right now, but it's also got this sound issue. I'm going to solve that by the next one. I'm
Well,
back.
go ahead, finish,
Huh?
please.
What's
I
that?
enjoy. We're starting at the same time.
Oh
We're,
yeah, yeah.
What were you saying, Ellis?
Oh, I'm going to have this sound issue fixed by the next time. I'll do some experimenting. I'll get it
It's
done.
it's funny you talk about the new computer. I got home from work and I called my mom because she got a new
how is she?
computer.
How is she
She's
anyway?
pretty she's pretty good. She's frustrated because she spent a lot of time at a lawyer's office today trying to get things sorted out. You know, she's worried about all of her stuff
Hmm.
and she's got property north of town, north of Yukon, and she's this the people around her are developing and she's kind of fighting it with city council, and so she's trying to do that, probably putting herself through more aggravation than she needs to be. But she was looking for a file. She had went to like a year ago, she had protested some stuff they had done, and she was looking for a letter she had wrote. Well, my nephew had got her a new computer, and he didn't get that transferred over, I don't think. And she's got it printed out. And I said, why don't you just retype it, Mom? Because my mom types really fast, but
Hmm.
she doesn't know how to save it in Microsoft Word. She said, I can't save anything. I said, well, there's a problem, because I guarantee you can save something,
Yeah,
so.
well, you may tell her she could do something and then find out you get hands on yourself and so, doggone it, I can't do it either.
I
You never
may,
know.
but I doubt it. I'm pretty
I,
certain I can save a Word document,
yeah, you'd think.
but you never know.
Yeah, like you say,
Anyway,
yeah.
but Mom is doing pretty good.
That's good.
She had the flu, I think, and my father-in-law's been struggling. He's in the hospital. We're gonna go see them in Amarillo this weekend,
Oh,
and
she remarried.
No,
no,
father-in-law.
my
Oh,
father-in-law.
I'm sorry. Oh, yeah,
Yeah, no
I meant
worries.
to ask about him. Sorry. I meant to ask about him.
Yeah, he's out of the hospital in kind of a rehab thing. So he's on the way to getting better, but then, he's in his mid 80s, so it's like, well, how much can he do and that sort of thing. Um, but mom was sick, and then I think some of the stuff with them, kind of affected her a little bit. She'll tell me I'm not sleeping, and then she'll tell me, well, I slept for about 8 hours. I go, Mom, that's more than I slept. you
I'd love
know.
to sleep 8 hours.
Yeah, I know. That's what I was thinking. She goes, well, how often do you sleep? I go, well, between 4 and 5 hours usually. And she said, well, you should go to bed earlier. And I said, well, then I'll wake up earlier. you know.
Well,
That happens. That's right.
if a
Yeah, I
guy
don't
gets
sleep
a
that
good
much.
stretch of sleep, he's going to get restorative effects out of it.
That's right.
A good, not good, nice stretch. And but if you if you're like me, you get a stretch of about an hour at a time after all the coffee you drink during the day. It's like, oh well, I'm not getting much restorative help out of my sleep pattern here.
Yeah, when my father-in-law was in the hospital, it was a little frustrating because I felt like he should be sleeping more, and there was always family in and out of his room, and it's like, let the man rest,
Yeah,
but
of course
he's doing better.
those hospital stays, if they've got you on any sort of drip for pain at all, you can always put yourself to sleep.
Well, he wasn't. He had blood clots in his lungs, and he had some other issues.
But he wasn't in
But
pain.
no, well, he was in pain, but they wouldn't give him anything.
Hmm.
He was
Oh.
in pain. He had a stomach. He got he got a Band-Aid that gave him a rash.
Mhm.
Just kind of a.
Oh man, hospitals are awful. I've been in
Well,
one and never want to be in one again.
that's what I told my wife. I go, man, you don't want to fall. If you can avoid it, you don't want to fall in the clutches of the medical
Oh
system. I mean,
That's
no.
right.
thank God they're there, but man, if you can
Yep.
avoid it,
Yep.
don't do it.
It's a business first.
Oh
It
yeah.
is a business. They didn't build that beautiful building out of charity.
Have you ever seen that crazy film with George C. Scott in it? It's called, I think it's just called Hospital.
I think so. A long time
It's
ago.
got
I don't
Diana
remember it.
Rigg in it too.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's a pretty good movie. It's written by a crazy good writer that wrote The Painted Bird. I can't think of his name.
Dick, with a J.
Yeah, what is his name?
He had a weird, like a Polish, not weird name, a
He
Polish
was
sounding name or Eastern European sounding name.
yes, very Eastern European. In fact, supposedly Roman Polanski stole his story about outfoxing the Nazis when he was a young Jewish boy trying to get through all the roadblocks they were throwing up. He used candle wax to give himself a foreskin, and then
Oh, God.
doesn't
oh
sound
my
likely, does it?
gosh.
But he did that, and I guess Polanski liked the story so much he said he did it.
Maybe they both did it.
Yeah, you never know.
Well,
Yeah,
that wouldn't be illegal if someone tells you a story and you use it.
yeah. I mean, yeah, especially a story like that.
Unless they did it first.
Yeah, yeah. Well, yeah, especially if you had it copyrighted or something like that. I don't
Yeah,
know
if
how
you
you how
wrote
what you.
it and then they wrote it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to have to, I think I'll head downstairs again and see what my wife is up to.
Okay.
Yeah, I need to go. We're leaving tomorrow and I haven't packed a thing.
Oh, you know
So
what? Yeah, we're at an hour. I'm sorry. I actually must have been having a good time. I
You were
don't know
having a
what.
good time. We were
Yeah.
no,
all
nothing
having a
wrong with
good time
that.
Yeah.
discussing
Okay.
things that weren't happy things, but what the heck?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, sometimes that's fun to recollect, and maybe that helps with trauma. Okay, guys, I'm going to end the stream.
Thank you,
Okay.
Alice.
Yeah, you
Good
All right,
bet.
night.
thanks.